Hey, this is Corbin. This is actually some video that I took 4 months ago. It was back in April 2017, and Debbie Cole over at pouringacrylics.com did a blog entry called Channeling Casey's Swipes, and where she called me the Swipe King, which is really not deserved to me, but really to Quinton Brunner, who I learned this approach from. But I wanted to show you 3 different approaches that I use to make triptychs. Here I put down solid color and like in panels, and then swiped the black from one direction and then the white from another, and that was a little bit of torching. Here's the second panel, in which I decided to do a bunch of scattered puddle pours and putting in the colors that I wanted, and then did the black separately and swiped it before I put the white down. I didn't really care for that, so I'm adding the white separately for this one, and I didn't really go back to that one. I've learned my lesson to put all my colors down. In the next of the these time-lapse videos, you'll see that I put the white down at the same time, and I like that better. There's just me kind of finishing up the edges of them. I'm using a lot of paint. It's just kind of flooding off of the edges there. Here's the final version, and I do think it's my favorite. Kind of put them all down together, and I did more swiping. I did 2 strokes of each there. In fact, I lost some black, so I had to put some back in there. That's no problem. And then do a little bit of tilting and some torching there to bring up the cells, and there I'm just finishing up the edges there. So this is again the final version. I really have a tendency to lean towards those blues and teals, turquoises and greens that way. It's probably because I've done a lot of work with copper, and I like the patina colors that come from copper. If you want to know how I put my formulations together, I basically get a Sharpie and draw it right on my bottles, and here's the ratios that I use, which are pretty simple. I use less than 1/3 of water and more than 1/3 of paint, and then about 1/3 of Floetrol, which is a pouring medium, but that's the cheap man's pouring medium there. Those are all them lined out there together. I do use cards, playing cards, because I have kind of a heavy hand, and it's flexible. Here is how stingy I am. I'm literally scraping the paint off of the table, which got me enough for my background, but really not enough to put a composition there, so I was trying a few things. And that was a cheat with a swipe there, where I just put the white paint on the card and then swiped. Well, I hope you enjoyed that.